It's time for the match preview for the Tree Derby as Forest will host Southampton. Welcome to my preview. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome to the preview for Forest versus the Saints. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget, as always, make sure you've hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And don't forget to follow us on our socials. We've got Twitter or X, whatever it's called, at YouTube FFTV. We got TikTok at Forest Fan TV. Instagram as well at Official FFTV. And if you want to drop me a message, there's my number. Send me a WhatsApp. And if you want more exclusive transfer news and videos exclusively for the guys on Patreon, shout out to all our Patreonees. Go and support us there if you can, as we're looking to go full time here on FFTV. Scan this QR code or click on the link that's in the comments. All right, let's get into the Tree Derby, and we got a preview coming up for you guys with Sorry Mike, and he really does need your help and support. I really want Southampton to stay up. I quite like Southampton. I see them as a traditional club, but obviously not at the expense of Forest. I watched their game against Man U, and I've got to say, how they didn't win that is beyond me. They play really good football, and poor Sorry Mike, man, wow. We need to take a moment and remember how lucky we are that we are at the other end of the table, winning games and everything like that, because he's a broken man. He really is. But they have some very good players. Obviously, Dibling's the one everyone's talking about, but Soleimani as well yesterday absolutely cooked that goddamn, what's his name, Yoro in the Man United defense. And you just felt that as the game progressed, they tired, they dropped deeper, and eventually they cracked. And that's been the story of their season, like 70 minutes of good football, a few mistakes, and then they're just still bottom of the league. Will they break Derby's record? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. In terms of our team, the famous Forest, we don't have any new injuries. Nuno's released his presser. He said that Danilo is coming back. I'll be surprised if he starts. We'll talk about that in a second. And he says Sangare is nearly there as well. It's getting to the stage now where Forest are nearly at a full strength team. And some would argue that Danilo and Sangare coming back would be like two new signings. And I kind of tend to agree. And this is a trait, by the way, let's not forget our mate Dave from Always Wolves told us about, that when it comes with Nuno and his smaller size squad, they are always very good at keeping players fit, and they don't usually get too many injuries. And not that I'm going to jinx anything, but you know, it is what it is. So anyway, let's get into the team and let's talk to you about what I think is going to happen with it. So let's jump over there now. All right, so this is the team that started against Liverpool, and there's probably an argument to say copy and paste, just go again. They did absolutely fine. And in essence, yes, I do agree. But there's something about me that feels in this game Nuno may try and tweak it a little, not for tweaking purposes, but to rest and rotate some players. And the question is, where? I think the obvious one is the switch out of Yates for Dominguez, potentially. It seems like those two are back and forth in that position almost on a rotating game. So I think that probably will happen. So I think Yates will come out and Dominguez, wherever he is, there he is, will come in place of him. Now, I was sitting here thinking, could Nuno throw a little curveball? Could Nuno throw a little S-housery towards Southampton and play Ward-Prowse against them? Because remember, Ward-Prowse is still stuck on this record of most dead ball free kicks. He needs one more to break, I think it's Beckham's record. Could he do it against his old club? I'm not sure. Because I'm not quite sure where he'd fit in. Maybe he could be in the 3 or something like that. I just don't see how the balance would work. Now, something I would do is I would rest Callum Hudson-Odoi or Elanga for this game. I actually want to see Sosa play. So if this was up to me, I'd probably rest Callum Hudson-Odoi and I'm bringing Sosa in. I just feel he's ready to get another start and get some decent minutes under his belt. I kind of think that's pretty much all that needs to happen with the team. There is an argument that maybe because Morata came on very late against Liverpool, maybe Nuno was thinking ahead to the Southampton game and he wants to go with a back three and put Triple M at the back, Williams and Einar at wing back, and then maybe sacrifice like a Callum Hudson-Odoi, maybe go two-man midfield, who knows, or drop Dominguez and go Anderson and Morgan Gibbs-White. A three at the back, as I always keep telling you, does not mean it's a more negative tactic. It's how you do it. A five at the back is definitely a more negative tactic. But for me, to be honest, guys, it's getting to the stage now. What I like about this team, it's whoever comes in and knows their role, rock style. Whoever comes in is not because the other person is out of form. It's got to the stage now where he's just keeping the team fresh. And whoever comes in can have a positive impact. I think there are some fundamentals on this team that currently can't be dropped. And that's obviously Sells with the form he's in goal, M in the middle, and Einar for me. Another argument, maybe Moreno needs a little bit of a run out and Nico Williams needs a rest because he looked gassed after about 70 minutes after the great performance he put in against Salah. So Moreno maybe comes in for there because their threat will come from that right-hand side if Dibbling is, of course, fit, as he came off in the Manchester United game. But whatever Nuno goes with, I think I'll be more than happy. What do you guys think of that team? Would you go with that? Would you rest a couple or not? Let me know in the comments. All right, if we look ahead to the game, I think there's a question that seriously needs to be addressed, and I need your guys' opinions on this. Having now drawn 1-1 with Liverpool, does this now mean I am free to stop saying 0-0 on my predictions, or are you guys going to make me do it until Forest actually lose a match? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. In terms of the key battles here, it is definitely going to be Dibbling if he starts on that right-hand side. They should just call him Dribbling, man, because he's fantastic with the ball at his feet. As I mentioned, the striker Soleimani the other day against Manchester United looked fantastic. And in the midfield, they do have some strength and power. But you'll also see the likes of Walker-Peters really overlapping down that left-hand side. And this is why I would start Elanga. Because Walker-Peters, for me, has a tendency to get too far up the pitch and then struggle to get back at times. He's got a good engine on him, but he can be caught in front of the ball a lot. And that could create a lot of space for Elanga. Now, Southampton tend to set up in a back three, so that in itself should create some gaps. And Ramsdale, I hate to say, well, I don't really hate to say, I don't rate him at all. He really has a lot of mistakes in him this year. I think his arms are too short, and when he dives, it's a bit like that, and he's not fully stretching and what have you. That's a great example there of how he dives. But you get what I mean. And I was surprised, to be honest, that he went to Southampton in the summer. As you'll see in the video tomorrow, sorry Mike, there's talks he might even be leaving. So this should be a Forest win. There's no two ways about it. Southampton are on 6 points in the Premier League so far. We're sitting on 41. And they like to have the ball. And even though they're turning into a counter-attacking side under their new manager, they still have the elements of the previous regime in Russell Martin still embedded within their DNA. And while they're going through this transition, this is where Forest need to capitalise. A lot of you will say, well, do we want to see Forest having a possession-based game against bottom of the league, really dominating them, smashing them 3 or 4-0? I don't think we'll see that. I think we'll see the usual pragmatic approach from Nuno, get the job done. Forest may win 1 or 2-0, and that's plenty. Keep those 3 points ticking along. That's all that matters right now. But because I'm scared of you lot, I'm going to predict Forest 0, Saints 0. You take from that what you want. Get your score predictions in down below. And don't forget, there's a transfer video up on the channel now. There's also my predictions for week 22, I think we're in the Premier League over on our second channel. I'll leave them on the end screen for you, so make sure you go and check them out if you haven't already. And that brings us to the end of my preview. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. We'll see you tomorrow with Sorry Mike. Come on, you Reds.